Well, hello everyone, it is the Blokey Gent and a little bit Mr. T today because I got the little chain with the C on it, got the Invicta. So today we're going to talk about identifying a fake Rolex when that Rolex is, say, mid-range in quality, because bearing in mind the really good Rolexes, the really good fake Rolexes are very hard even for the professionals to distinguish. So we're going to talk about a mid-range fake Rolex with an automatic movement. How can you tell? What do you look for? I'm going to tell you. Let's go. So today I went to possibly Melbourne's most expensive op shop, opportunity shop over in USA. You guys call it Goodwill or Salvation Army. We have salvos too. And I was looking at the watches and I noticed this place had two Rolexes behind the glass. So I started examining them, and I was examining them and I had them taken out. I was looking at them sitting on the floor. And looking at them. So we're going to talk about what I noticed to convince me that these were fake. And obviously the shop thought these were fake. They were selling them for $65. So the first one, it was a black Submariner. Now this watch looked like someone had worn it for maybe 20 years or more. And it was in scuffed up condition. But I was thinking, well, you know, if it's a good one, it's $1,000 or more. If it's a real Rolex, that is. And I was looking at it, examining it. First thing that stood out at me was the metal on the flange. So this metal here was a different color to this metal, and it was slightly more scuffed. Another thing that stood out with me to show that it was fake was, of course, the bubble, the Cyclops Eye. The Cyclops Eye needs to magnify the date about 2.5 times. It was magnifying it about 1.5 times, and in addition it was off center, it was off kilt. Everything else about the watch seemed okay until I turned it around to the back. Now at the back of many fake Rolexes it's actually clear, and they will try to impress you with a clear thing like on this Invicta. So it'll have a clear back. And this thing called the rotor, where it's in bright yellow on my Invicta, this said on it, it said Rolex, 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 Rolex in linear format over and over to try and convince you that it's real. But of course, a real Rolex will very rarely, but generally not have a clear back. It will say nothing on the back. So this watch had lots of indications that it was fake, but there were many indications it was real. The bezel turned smoothly. It was an automatic movement. There were no errors at all in the layout of the dial. Everything looked good. The writing was solid. The hands were the right thickness. There were so many things that were going for it. The automatic movement seemed to wind very nicely. So we're talking mid-range, something that would be a mid-range fake Rolex sold in China a long time ago. So they were actually not bad quality even back then. Now, so I put that watch away. The next watch, wow, I was looking at this for a long time. So the next watch, it was basically a lady's yachtmaster with a white face. And this watch, okay, firstly, the stainless steel, far superior quality to the first one. You know a real Rolex, because a real Rolex has excellent stainless steel. The quality jumps out at you. If the quality is jumping out at you on a watch, and you're wowed by it, it might be a real Rolex. If something is nagging you, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. And if you keep looking at it, you'll see what your subconscious picked up minutes earlier. Now, this watch was pretty good. This yachtmaster, I was thinking, could this be a real one? Again, they wanted about $65 for it. And by the way, by now they were becoming extremely annoyed that I was taking so long with it out of the case, and they were waiting, and I was just sitting on the floor looking at it. And whoa, they became so annoyed. Another indication that you're buying a fake Rolex, that the shop gets annoyed. So I gave them a little 1-star review just now on Google. They can live with that for a while, because I don't like being annoyed myself. So this watch had excellent stainless steel. The layout on the face, everything was perfect. The font, here's where it started to slip. The font was not as firmly printed as it should be. It was a little bit opaque, a little bit grainy. That's a telltale sign that it's a fake Rolex. In addition, the bezel looked like it was the wrong type of metal. It looked a bit more toy-like. The back was good. The back was that perfectly plain, smooth back that you get on real Rolexes. By the way, old Rolexes will have writing on the back. New Rolexes don't have any writing, so new good fakes won't have any writing on the back. This had no writing on the back. This was a quality watch. Automatic movement, no quartz battery, not one of those really cheap ones. It was only the font and two other things that told me this was a fake Rolex. And again, it was the Cyclops Eye. The Cyclops Eye was off-center, and in addition, it was not magnifying the number good enough. Heck, even on my Invicta, you get a great magnification on that number. You don't get a good magnification on many fakes because they can't be bothered doing everything. There's always something that's going to jump out at you. But basically, if it went for those three things, the quality of the font and the Cyclops Eye, I really had nothing else to go on. The writing that was on the clasp looked pretty close to internet photos I was comparing it to online. It was a great looking watch. But I put that back. But anyway, by this stage, the woman who was showing me the stuff, she was becoming extremely peeved. And I said, I think these are fake. And she said, well, of course they're fake. Another guy came along and said, you've never been to Asia, have you? Oh, they have so many fakes. And I said, well, how do you know these are fakes? Because I wanted to know. And he said, oh, just look at the price, $60. And neither of these two knew why these were fakes. They just assumed they were because they were working in an opportunity shop. I like to investigate, and I like to, play with stuff and find out why they're fake. And that's the only way anyone is ever going to learn to spot a fake Rolex very quickly, by getting that hands-on experience and really looking at a really good, see if you can somehow get your hands on a really good fake Rolex. And for free, hopefully. Don't buy it, don't support them. But just really look at the Rolex and really start to find out why it's a fake in your own mind. Because these losers out there who think that it's a fake just because it's in an op shop, they're going to miss a fabulous bargain one day. I actually purchased a Tudor Oyster Prince for $40. And it's real as heck. It's a vintage from the 50s. It's real as heck. But not every op shop you'll be able to do that. Some of them are very savvy. They get jewelers in. Anyway, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed this, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye. Cheers.